So hey you guys, welcome back. Today I'm here with Tara from Living on a Dime. I absolutely love her YouTube channel and her Facebook and her blog. I want you right now to open up a tab, go check out her YouTube channel. We're gonna put a link right here so you guys can do that. I know you guys are going to love her as much as I do. So today she's here to talk about her favorite sort of organizing tips, especially if you're ill, you're not feeling well, or you're just overwhelmed with kids and mess and everything else that life can throw at you. So thank you, Tara, for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad we've been trying to do this for a month and we finally got together.
And then Milo was sick yesterday. Yeah, we've had some issues, haven't we? Sorry about that.
That's
but
all
we're
right.
here and I'm excited. And yeah, I find you really inspiring. And I know you're going to inspire my subscribers as well. A lot of people say to me, I just don't know where to start, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm chronically ill. And you're struggling with that yourself, and you're still able to keep a clean and organized home while running a business, which is amazing. So let us know your secret.
I don't have a secret. No, my secret is, just start. I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. I also have 5 kids, 4 biological, so I've had 4 babies. On top, I've been sick for 28 years, so I had 4 babies while I was chronically ill. And I also started living on a dime when I was pregnant with my first child 18 years ago. And so it's always been chaos and bedlam at our house. I mean, pretty much always. But the thing is, you have to just start. And quite frankly, I was on bed rest with all 4 of my pregnancies. It was hard. But what I would do is I would watch TV, and during the commercials, I would get up and organize or clean something. And at first, that's all I could do. I was horribly sick. I could hardly get off the couch. Then I started feeling a little bit better, and I got pregnant. But then I got put on bed rest with my pregnancies. And if you can do nothing else, when you get up to go to the bathroom, go into the bathroom, and while you're in there, only wipe down the sink. If that's all you can do is just wipe out the inside of the sink, do it. The next time you get up to go to the bathroom, go in, put the bath mat up, and hang all the towels up. It's as simple as that. The thing is, this doesn't take long as far as huge spans of time. You don't need to take a month or 3 months and get your whole house organized. You can do it in literally 1 to 2 5-minute, between 1 and 5 minute increments.
That's right.
And, we did a show with you, and we were talking about how just find a place for things. That is huge. When you know the toothpaste lives here, and that's where it lives and nowhere else, that's the only place it goes.
That's right.
And that's a huge help. And so for me, when I was really sick, I'm like you, I'm naturally disorganized. I fight it every day. Like this morning, I wish I would have taken a picture to show you guys, but I did a show yesterday on my soap making for Facebook Live, and it went longer than I thought it would. We had some issues, and I had 3 minutes to get in my car, take 300 books to the post office, and then go pick up my boys for school, and then take them to swimming lessons. And I forgot to make dinner. And I came home, and I kid you not, it looked like my kitchen had exploded. And I was horribly sick last night because stress does that to me. And when I looked at the kitchen, I'm like, I can't deal with this. I'm going to bed. I did. I got up this morning, and I thought, I do not want to deal with this. But I got in there, and it took me about literally 10 minutes to get everything put where it belongs, and throw the dishes in the dishwasher, get it running, get a load of laundry in, get everything cleared for the next show that we're doing today. And it took me like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the problem is people spend more time dreading it
Yeah.
than they do actually doing it.
That's right.
Do you
Because
find
it's
that's true?
overwhelming.
Yeah.
I agree with you because especially when you have a really big mess, it can seem absolutely overwhelming. And I'm guilty of this, and a lot of people are of procrastinating, getting started, and then we've built it up to be this huge thing in our mind. But when we actually, like you said, just start, just set a timer and say, okay, I can do 5 minutes. Not only will you get more done than you ever thought you could, but it's motivating to keep going. Once
Yeah.
you start, you want to keep going and get things tidied up.
Yeah. And, and what I do is I can never find a timer.
Yeah, I set a timer. I need a timer. Everybody's different. I need a timer to
And
motivate.
I don't have a phone. I hate my cell phone, so I never have it with me. And so if you have a cell phone or something that you keep on you all the time to set a timer or whatever, do that. But what I do is, since I'm not that organized to have a timer,
Yeah.
I'll pick like the kitchen table and I'll say, I'm clearing the kitchen table. And I get the kitchen table cleared. Or I'm just clearing the sink and I get the sink cleared. And I do try to keep the sink cleared all the time. But there's times when it just explodes. Or like when I go down to work on the boys' room, they pick up their rooms every night before bed or before they go to school if I'm sick and can't remind them to do it before bed. But you know how boys are, and they don't always get it put back in. So every 6 months or so, I go in and make sure that everything's reorganized and clear with their clothes and stuff. And I'll say, you know what? I'm just doing their shirts, or I'm just doing their underwear and socks. And usually, well, not usually, every single time I do that, I end up doing the whole closet, and it's done. 20 minutes. I've got my donate done. I've got my trash. I've got my giveaway. Or, wait a minute, I'm missing a box.
Yeah. You've got keep, donate, or give away. Yeah.
Yes, and I've got my keep on where it goes to other spots in the house or the room or whatever. And so that's how, I do it when I don't have a timer. Now, if I had a timer, it would probably go quicker for me because I'd be kind of like wanting to race the clock.
And that's what I do. Yeah, I try to get it done before the timer goes up. Everybody, I think, has different things that motivate them, and you have to work with what works for you. One thing that I have been doing lately that works great, and I know I've talked about this before, is an audiobook. So I don't use my cell phone either. That's funny you say that. I lose it all the time. I'm ridiculous. I'm like, I don't know. It's dead somewhere. I never use it. But then I download audiobooks. You can even get them free from your local library. And I put that on my headphone. I tuck it in my bra strap, which I know I shouldn't do, but whatever, you guys, I do it. And I just pick up while I'm listening to it, and I don't want to stop because I want to know what happens next in the book. So I'm multitasking. I'm reading a great book with my ears and cleaning and tidying the house at the same time. So if you haven't tried that, you have to give it a try.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. I usually put on inspirational people on, if I have my laptop around, I'll turn it on or something, or if it's something where I can do that, But that's the big thing for me is just get started no matter how small it is. I don't care if you're just clearing one section of your bathroom counter, if it's got 500 things, just clear that one section and keep it cleared.
Right.
If you can't focus on the whole house, focus on one small area that's driving you crazy. Just pick that one area and take care of it and keep it cleared. And I realize with kids, it's like shoveling snow in a blizzard. I have 5 every day. I'm always having them to haul stuff back to their room and put it back where it belongs. But, with my youngest, he's 7 now. And so I'll just tell him, okay, the living room's a mess. You need to find 20 of your toys and put them up where they belong. And he's like, okay. And he'll run around. He's like, well, Mom, there's only 15. I said, well, you double check and make sure you can't find 20. He's like, oh, I found 2 more. And so they make it a game.
That's right. Yeah.
And it really helps. And the next thing is get rid of so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am constantly, it is a huge battle because I am always going through, but I have 5 kids. So I've always got clothes coming in and out and rotating and all this and saving. And I will say, now that my youngest is 7, I have 3 boys. And I was so excited when I realized I could just give his little clothes to the neighbors or the donate pile, and I didn't have to save them for the next kid. Because I was like, I've been saving clothes for 18 years for the next boy, and now I don't have to. It was so free.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. And you have multiple seasons too.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing, having to switch, relocate the winter and bring forward the spring and make sure that, the next season actually fits them. And yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, and that's why I try to make sure, like, every May and every October or November, I switch the clothes. Because we're in Colorado, and so we do have 4 seasons, but our winters are a little bit longer and earlier than when we lived in Kansas. And so that's a great, October or November is a great time because you get everything cleared out right before Christmas.
Right.
And I think October is perfect, actually, because then you don't have to worry about Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And so I would say right now, if you have kids, go in and just pick one thing and get it cleared out for Christmas. And then the next day, go do another thing. And, people say, well, I'm a working mom and I'm too tired. You can't have that be an excuse. All moms are working moms. If you have kids that are at home with you, you're working with the kids. If you're gone all day, there's no one home messing up the house. So you have your work in the evening on the house. But it's not the same as a mom who stays home with lots of kids. And so it just depends on your situation. But you can't use that as an excuse to just let your house go to pot either. Because most moms aren't working 120 hours a week. I mean, if you are in that case, I say let it go to pot. But, most people are working an average 40, 50 hours a week,
And in those cases where you really are overwhelmed, the tip is just have less stuff. I know it's hard, but the less you have, the less work you have to do. And that's just the way it is. So if you are feeling super overwhelmed, try that, capsule closet where you only have 30 items or something like that. Because it's true, the less you have, the less work you have to do. And that's just the way it is. Just grab a garbage bag and fill it with donations. And that's, 10 minutes less time you have to do next time.
And everybody does say, for us, they say, well, I spent good money on that.
Yeah.
So it's causing you more.
That's right.
It's costing you more money now in time and energy than you spent before. Chalk it up to a mistake and go on.
That's right. Yeah, because by holding on to that thing that's, $500 that you've spent, you're not $500 richer. If anything, it's costing you money because it's taking up space in your valuable home. And, you could try selling it and reclaiming a little bit of that money back. So I love that you said that, because that is one of the biggest reasons people hold on to things they're not using, is because it costs money, or they think that they're giving away money, which isn't the case at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's a huge thing for our viewers, since we're on saving money and everything, and they think that we are telling them to not be frugal when we tell them to get rid of these things. But in actuality, it's saving you money in the long run versus now when, it's just causing you more stress.
And there's nothing of years of purging. I've purged so much, bags and bags and boxes of things. There's nothing that I miss.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I would, I was afraid I would. I was afraid I'd have to go and rebuy things because I would need it. But that never happened. And it gets easier. The more you get rid of things, that anxiety about getting rid of it definitely lessens.
It does, doesn't it? Isn't it amazing?
It is. But when you first start, it can be debilitating. You can have actual fear about getting rid of something, especially if you're, trying to live on a budget or you're struggling financially. It can feel like you're getting rid of money. Yeah. But that's all in our minds, because it's not, it's not reality.
Yeah. And, it's funny because every time I go to organize something like the boys' room, or right now my soaping area is just a disaster. All my soap stuff is everywhere, and I got to go in and reorganize because I got a whole bunch of stuff and took away and all that, and I need to go in and reorganize. And it's like I feel this pressure come down upon me when I have to go organize something, and it physically makes me ill thinking about organizing like that. And I do this every single time, and I have to talk myself out of it every single time. I'm like, you know what, Tawra? Just get this shelf done. Just get this shelf done. And once you get started, you're like, oh, wow, oh, that feels so good. I finally got that shelf done. Okay, now I know what's there. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do the next one. And you can't let your anxiety stop you.
That's right.
Stop making an excuse. Drink some chamomile tea. Calm yourself down. But get in there and do it. You know, I know that there are actual physical problems with people who have, you know, issues. But you have to stop letting your issues stop you. You know, I have all kinds of issues with my illnesses and the kids, and we've had not enough money for things. You've got to stop making excuses and figure out a way and just do it.
That's right.
You know, it's like my husband the other day, I don't remember what it was, but he was like, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah. I would say, get up, put on your big girl pants, and just get it done. Yeah. Motivation's a big thing for a lot of people, including me. I struggle to get motivated a lot of times.
Yeah, and you know, okay, I have to just say, your dog is looking so cute.
I know, he was a puppy, you know, he just turned 2. He was a puppy for basically the first 2 years, and now it's like he turned 2 and he just is like an old man. He just sleeps all day. It's ridiculous.
What's funny is he looks just like our dog. We have the same exact dog, and it's so funny. He's looking so cute back there. He keeps stretching and all.
He's so lazy now. I take him to the dog park every day, but otherwise he literally just like doesn't move. He just lays.
That's funny. He's so cute. So
collecting pets, which is another thing that creates a lot of work. You know, every time I'm like, I love the idea of more pets, but we just got a bird, and now there's feathers and bird seed everywhere, and you know.
We have 3 cats and a dog, and they're all grandfathered in, but I can say when they're gone, I'm going to take a break because I am tired of cleaning. It's like everywhere.
It's the same belongings. The more you acquire, we all want to, it feels good to buy. It feels good to have new things, but every time we bring something in our house, it's just more work. It's just more work. So make sure you really love it because
I totally agree.
Dust and more to wash and more to move when you have to clean, just more.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. And that's pretty much for me, is to keep it simple as much as possible. So, yeah, I'm not a big one on collecting things just for collecting them. I'll have people criticize me because I'll do my garage sale hauls, and they'll see like 10 pairs of pants, or like the other day I got 20 pairs of pants for the boys. Well, for that, I got 4 sizes. They have to wear uniforms to school. And I got 4 different sizes for the next years because they're hard to find. I can't find those pants used very well. But I only got them 4 or 5 pairs for the entire year for the next 2 years for 2 boys. And so it looks like a lot, but in reality it's not. So actually make sure what you buy you're going to use.
Yes.
Don't just go buy 20 pairs of pants for one kid for this school year. I mean, unless
you know what, a lot of people, I'm glad you said that, make that mistake, especially couponers, and they, you know, will buy 20 bottles of ketchup because they're on sale. And while you are saving money, you're saving money on those things. If you can't get to it and use it, or it's expired, or you've forgotten about it because you don't have a really visual place for your overhaul of stuff, you're wasting money. You've wasted money.
Exactly.
And that's something I see a lot of people do. And the truth is they just don't have a really visible, organized spot to put these things that they buy. So before you go and start buying things in bulk, you need to make sure you have a system set up to store it so you're not wasting your money.
Yeah, and I did that with cake mixes last year. I found them on clearance for 30 cents, and I bought like 20 cake mixes because I thought I would be using them. And I didn't use them. So I'm going to just clean them out and go donate them to the food pantry at our church.
That's right. At least someone's getting good value.
Yeah. You know, I feel good helping someone else out. Someone else can use it. They don't usually get things like cake mixes and, you know, fun stuff. They always get beans and rice.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, give it away and help someone else. And stop being so stingy with your stuff. You made a mistake.
That's right.
Bless someone else with it and move on and just, and we used to, I love to bargain shop. So what I would do is I would go to the store, and when they would have clearance items, like they had purses that were $1 each, but they were really nice purses, but it was May and they were last summer's purses and they needed to get rid of them for this summer's purses. And so I bought like 30 of them, and everybody's going to say, but we bought 30 of them and donated them to the local women's crisis shelter because they can use them when the women come in there. Sometimes they don't have anything at all.
That's right.
And that way they can put their stuff in there. They have a brand new, nice purse. They can feel better about themselves because they have something nice and new. And that's a good way to use your shopping, in a good way. Don't just go and buy the 30 purses just because you think they're all cute. No one needs to be using 30 purses,
So,
so, yeah.
I like buying toys on sale because my kids have birthday parties all the time and their birthdays. So sometimes you can find great toys on sale. And I used to buy all these things and I would just, hide them in places and I'd forget about them. So I'm not really saving any money. And it wasn't until I created like a gift closet, a designated spot to put all that extra stuff, that now I can shop my gift closet first and I'm not losing it. I'm not wasting money. So just like setting up little systems can save you so much money.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And I spend on average $2 to $5 for birthday presents for kids.
Yeah, we save a ton of money doing it that way. But before I was saving money, but I'd forget about them and I'd lose them. And I hate to throw my mom under the bus, but she does this. She buys things for the kids and then she can't remember where she put it. And then when she does find it, they're 2 sizes too small, it's wasted because she doesn't have a designated spot to put those things in her home.
Exactly. Yeah, that is exactly what I do. That's a great idea because you could save so much money, but you're not going to save money if you're just throwing it wherever. So, yeah, that's exactly it.
Clutter and more problems, and you're wasting money.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So, yeah. So those are my tips that I use to try and keep my sanity.
5 kids. You're a super mom. That's a lot.
No, I'm a mom who's
3, and it's just like ah.
Yeah, no. More days than not, I'm losing my mind. So. But, you can keep on track of it even if you are losing your mind. So,
anyway. Thank you so much. I love it. I love that, you're a real person and you have real clutter issues and kids who make messes. And I watch so many other YouTube channels and, they have these beautiful, immaculate houses and they just I guess, mop them all day. I don't know. But it's, it's not realistic. And it can feel a little bit, while it's lovely to look at their beautiful homes, it can make me feel a little bad about myself. And I think my subscribers feel the same way. It's hard to relate to that, so I love that you're relatable. You're a real person living like a real person with kids and stuff and a business from home, and you're still making it work. So I know you're going to inspire so many people who are subscribers of mine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. I loved it. It was fun.
It was fun. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys watching that you subscribe to Living on a Dime right now. We're going to put the link so you can just click right now. Thanks so much, you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.